It burns.
Alrighty, guys. You know the old inaugural 5-minute countdown. As we wait for everybody to log in. Got an interesting show today. Nothing super crazy, but again, just to keep y'all in the loop.
You tried too hard with the Phoenix Force and didn't do it right.
Not once, but twice with the Phoenix Force, it didn't do it right.
I think the second time was a bit better than the first.
Oh, you think the younger version Phoenix Force was?
I mean, that one. Like, I saw the future. Did you not see Godzilla -1?
Woo! It's a party now.
Has it been 5 minutes on Facebook?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
It's about to be 6 minutes, man. We're late.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome to another week of the Hydeout. We are, staying weekly so far. Everything's going smoothly. Again, thank y'all for joining us. We got a good episode today.
Something episode.
Yeah, it came out, and now it gives us more material to discuss. So, we're gonna.
I know we watched that episode with you guys last week, and we were supposed to go down the Fate series, but you can't jump over X-Men.
Yeah. We saw that it was coming out during last week, and we're just like unanimous. We're like, all right, let's give them some Marvel, content, because the last one was what Echo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
back
that
in
was January. Yep.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Filler episodes of animes have filled our episodes, and now we can go back to the the Marvel content. So what is it? We're gonna talk about X-Men '97. We're gonna go down the whole X-Men ladder of everything that we have seen and or want to forget. And let's see what else, and that's it. We'll talk about a little bit of news that we heard in regards to one of our episodes that we had for Akira Toriyama. They're making a
Dragonball Z amusement park.
Yeah, theme park. Yeah. So unfortunately, in Saudi Arabia, so it's out of our reach. Unfortunately, unless you have the funds, and the passport, by all means, go to Saudi Arabia. But we'll post it here in the edited verse of the show. The theme park looks massive. So I know it was like a massive dragon in the middle with the Dragon Balls. Shinron with all the Dragon Balls in front of it. They showed a day picture and a night picture, and it looks so epic. I was like, yo, if that comes into fruition, I was like, that's gonna be freaking badass. And then they had Kami's the lookout, the little thing, so
you go up and view everything. Yeah.
I wonder if it's gonna be. It probably won't be rotating. That would be dope because again, we had experienced that at the Tower of Americas in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. That the top of the tower rotates. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if that one rotates.
Well, I know the some amusement parks have the little tower thing where you go up and it just rotates and then takes you back down. I don't see why not.
What? Really? Which ones? I know which ones you're talking about, but not the ones that drop really fast.
Oh,
right?
no.
Okay, I was like, that's the one I thought just now.
No.
You're going to tell me they're rotating at fast speed and dropping at the same time? No,
I have seen on that real quick where they take you up and they rotate you and then they drop you and all the swings or whatever they have come out like that. It was pretty crazy. I wouldn't do that.
And funny thing is, I'm a fan of roller coasters. I love roller coasters. But the one that scares me the most is the swings. Swear, the swing, the little carousel swing, that scares me more than a roller coaster.
You have all right to, because at that point all you're doing is sitting
right,
and that thing's being pulled as hard as it can, being swung around. I'm just no, I don't feel comfortable.
Bree didn't understand that. Bree was like, how do you like roller coasters, but you don't like the swinging chairs? I was like, at least a roller coaster. I'm like, in the mechanics,
it makes you feel more secure.
I'm in there. You know what I mean? Even if we go upside down, I'm in there. Like, I'm not gonna fall. Like, if we're swinging and this chain busts,
yeah,
you gone. Wherever that motion you're going, dude, like you're dead. Like you're gone.
That reminds me, like, it makes you feel more secure, right? Like, it just makes you feel like safer. Have you seen those roller coasters that supposedly like jump off the rails and get back on?
Hell no. Shut up.
They're gonna do something like that with their, I think it's like the Nintendo Land, where they're gonna do Donkey Kong.
Like Donkey Kong's off that rail.
Yeah.
Oh,
but what they did is they have you secured onto like this arm that holds the cart, but it legit like looks like you like jump off, and dude, it looks so crazy.
So there's an actual roller coaster beam that is still attached, but it looks like a part of the track probably missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like the track like is torn up like Donkey Kong. Dude, that would cool.
Man, hell nah, I'd be tripping. Like again, the security of it all. Like if you feel like if they make it legit where it feels like it jumps, that would be legit. Like, yeah. But actually, like not being on the railway.
I'm like I can't do that.
That's the perfect place to put that like snapshot camera.
Oh yeah, yeah, right to your death. Hey, that's the last photo. That's the shot that happens to go off the rail. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with this one. I'm good.
Man, that would be the worst. That's the final picture of you every time you lie to your dad. Like,
they put it up. Put it up at your funeral.
This is the last photo.
This is how he would have wanted to go out.
Oh Lord, dude. So yeah, like I couldn't do it. But that would be again a legit feature to make it feel that way. But if it's legitimately on the track,
so what they have
maybe like they bend the bar or something where it jumps. Maybe
what they have, as far as I know, is like it's the cart is connected to something that hooks up to the actual like the roller coaster. But the rails look like they come up and separate. So like when it goes, and it like looks like it like you were actually jumping. And I was like, that looks so cool. I want to go.
That'd be legit.
Makes me sad.
The Nintendo Land is not in the United States.
I think
it's gonna be in Japan. Don't tell me.
Probably, but I know. Is it Universal that has some Nintendo?
I thought it was somewhere in the United States. I know, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure it's Universal because they already have Harry Potter. No, it is Universal. They have Nintendo
theme park.
Yeah, Universal has it because I know somebody that still lives out there.
Universal Studio Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. And I got so mad, dude. You don't understand. I didn't even I moved out here, and the year I moved out here, they put the freaking Nintendo Land out here. I was like, why did you do that then?
Why? And that's how it is, bro. That's how it is. They did all the improvements to the theme park of San Antonio when I wasn't no longer a member of the card, and it's like, really.
Yep, that's how it is, man. I'm like, so you're just trying to get me back. That's what you just want me to go over there.
Buy the damn memory pack or the memory pass or whatever, and be able to go. Like, so you're telling me I'm gonna spend these $70, only go once?
Yep.
Because again, that's honestly the steal. The membership pass is the same price as a one-day ticket. So might as well spend the extra money to get the season pass and go whenever you decide to go again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But yes, it is in
Universal Studios Hollywood. Which means there probably is one in Florida because normally they have interchangeable. Maybe not, because I know Universal Studios
is only. I thought it was only in Cali.
Universal
the other
Studios?
one was Disney World and Disneyland.
I'm pretty sure there's a Universal Studios Orlando and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. They had
poor people conversations, guys. We've never been. Have you been to Disneyland?
It's been years.
Oh, you have?
Back when the tickets were still about just under $100, I believe.
Disney World is in
Orlando theme park.
Orlando. Disney World, Universal. Yep, yeah.
Right. But Universal has the Orlando one too.
That's what I'm saying. There is one in. You got me.
I remember because they have the better Harry Potter place and everything too. Everything's always bigger in Orlando.
In in Florida,
like in the Florida, the Universal Hollywood, the stuff is like compact because they don't have a whole bunch of room, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot more compact compared to what I've seen over in the Florida.
I think I need to start already investing like in a CD when Jiraiya turns 5 years old. It's already
just wait till they make Naruto World.
I'm already spending money going to Japan. That is for certain.
Well, sooner or later I'll get there. Maybe not in the next 5
years. My goal is 10 years. Like within 10 years, I have to make it to Japan at least once. Like have to, bro. Like I just want to go to all the little things, find out which ones are real on Facebook and which ones are just Instagram fake. Like you know what I mean? Like a little subsection wall, and it's like. This didn't look like this, and TikTok lied, like you know what I mean. Like, that's why I got banned in the United States, like 7 years in the future,
right?
So let's see here. Oh yeah, again, Keenan is putting out on the Facebook chat that we do have a Discord. So tune in at the Real Hydeout Discord. Has sub channels. Is that what they're called? Sub channels and stuff like that. So all divided into different categories. That way y'all can start posting and we can get questions from you guys or content that y'all want us to follow. I believe that's how Discord works, if I'm not mistaken.
From a little bit I've been on there, yeah, that's how and then just I like his little thing in the works, but it's working.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate that.
So so it's not perfect yet, but it's in the process.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as I know, there's like little tabs that you could click on the left-hand side and it will do like a little drop box. And there'll be like, I think for ours, it has like Marvel, DC, anime stuff, like other
manga, something like that. As I remember, so
that way, if you ever wanted to correct us, you could drop it there, and then we have proof.
Don't embarrass us on live, but
I mean, you can
embarrass us in the chats. I'm like, yeah, put us on blast. That is not his name. This is his name.
Eli's called me out.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, Eli will be the voice of reason here. We're gonna have to need what is it on live where they have the voice notes or where they call in.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we got to call on line 1. Hey, you idiots! It's Vegeta, not vagina.
It's Kakarot.
Not K-Carrot. K-Carrot. Like, come on, man. Get your shit straight. Sorry, guys. Wrong number.
Why is it not shutting off?
Right. I'm still here.
I hacked your system now.
Testing.
That's when you hear a little.
Please, our feature presentation has have a disruption. Like,
oh man, no, was the one that got me all the time was the Cat in the Hat one when they did that. And he's like, oh,
the live action.
Yeah, he's like hanging in there or whatever, and it's a little cat.
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude.
Anyways, steering back to X-Men.
X-Men, yes. Theme park. Yeah. So Saudi Arabia, guys, that's where the theme park will be. Again, it looks pretty cool. If y'all get a chance, it's on Comic Book. I shared it on the Hydeout page. It's a pretty cool layout. When it was gonna get finished being built, I couldn't tell you. All I know is I just did a real quick glance at the article. Just looked through the photos. I didn't even read the article. I was just like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's gonna be dope right there. So they have Kami's Lookout, and then they have Master Roshi's house.
The house.
So I thought that was gonna be pretty cool.
And the turtle house.
Yep, the turtle house, and then I want to say they had the Cell Saga ring.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I saw that. So they had I saw like a rendition with the big old poles and everything. So that'll be legit because they do have tournaments on Dragon Ball Z. They even have it in the regular, tournament and then Stell's tournament or whatever. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So again, Saudi Arabia, guys, that's where you're all gonna be able to go see that. I hope if y'all do go, just put some photos. But if we are mainstream by that time and we get to go, we'll record this live. So in the theme park. So
take all the pictures of us screaming.
So would it be Saudi Arabian or would it be Japan? Like, will we speak Japanese, like, to the associates, like,
you try to speak Saudi Arabian or something to them, and they'll be like, "I speak English, man. Just go on."
Yeah, that's true. Got a little pamphlet you're trying to read it, like,
trying to translate it.
Dude, I'm from Nebraska, bro. Just go in, man. Got hired, man. Go ahead. But alrighty, guys. So X-Men. We're gonna talk about X-Men '97. We'll go off of that first, and then we'll probably jump in between all the rest.
Like we normally do.
Yeah, normal stuff. I don't even know where to start. Like, it was it just like what I was telling him. First things first. You better not have skipped that intro. Like
that intro, it just still gives you the chills, man.
Oh snap!
I was like, normally I do skip intros because I'm just like, all right, hurry up, get me to wherever. Nah, that's one I'm like, you're gonna play. I don't mind it. Even my wife didn't say nothing about it. I was like, let me, just in case, let me move this controller.
I swear, Bree had the control of the controller, and like the little thing came up to skip intro. I was like, don't you skip that intro. She was like, I wasn't David Andrew. Like, just so you know. She's like,
we need.
I wasn't. Sure. Yeah, I would have been so hot if she would have skipped that intro, bro. But yeah, dude. First things first.
Did you let the outro play too?
I did not let the outro play.
Same thing.
No, same thing. Yeah. Just the I saw. Well, I might be lying. I didn't have the volume all the way up or whatever, but I saw that they were rotating the characters, showing their the physical attributes and all that stuff.
Showing their abilities and everything. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty sure it was some of the theme.
So just right off, you said abilities. Hopefully, I don't get too much hate. What is Jubilee's attributes like?
I mean, if you watch it on there, it's the pyrotechnic stuff. She could create
explosions.
Yeah, it's explosions.
But
it looks like it comes out in firework displays and stuff like that.
Because she chooses to be, right?
I believe so.
So if she wanted to generate one blast in a specific area,
she probably
could, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She would just have to focus.
Because the way they did it in the show, where she's just dancing and making fireworks, I was like, I really hope that's not the extent of her power.
But I mean, at the same time too, it's a very good distraction, but it's also a very good defense because those are still
flashbangs, maybe in a way.
Not just that, but they're still pyrokinetics. They still explode and have that same thing. If I were to throw a firecracker at you, it's still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But hers could be enhanced too. So it's just imagine several of them.
Several pop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't mean to hate or anything. I was just when I was watching her, I was like, I've never seen her powers at full force besides little flashbangs, you know what I mean? So I wanted to know if there was more to this power of hers. But yeah, dude, the intro took me back, dude. I watched something on Facebook where they did the side by side, and it was spot on, almost to the T.
Yeah.
Except for of course, the running in characters were different. We didn't have the old Sabretooth. That one's gonna be an updated one. We had Morph. Who else? There was another character that they swapped out, and I was just like, ooh, it's gonna be interesting. Again, bringing back everything. They brought it. I think even the original voice characters.
Yeah,
I think
they brought them back.
Oh, everyone back.
But that Wolverine voice, I can't forget it.
Oh, the bub, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say? Computer, automated system turn off. And
Yeah.
he's like, is that real enough for you, bub?
Yeah,
Like, iconic, just voice right off the bat.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, dude.
It was funny though because when that scene particularly, I was watching it with my wife, and we were just like, when the computer goes off and everything, she started cracking up at the
His
boy's
face,
eyes.
like, oh snap!
She's like, no, go. She's like, you gotta rewind it.
Animated, just perfect.
He was like, oh, I
And
could have died.
they had the old style animation, right? Like, am I tripping, or is that like? Do you think that was done purposely to mimic the missing gap period? Right? You think?
The thing is, they probably updated some of the looks, but still use some of the animation,
Like period type,
yeah,
right? You know what I mean?
maybe, yeah.
That's what I was looking at because I was trying to. Because again, we like we were saying, we didn't get a chance to rewatch the '97 or the old original X-Men, but
which we will do.
Yeah, which we will do. We will do before the next episode for sure.
Well, maybe not all of them. There's like 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. I was like, oh snap!
I'm not gonna promise nothing.
Don't take our word. We say 7:30, we're on by 8. But yeah, so I was catching that when I again was like showing like the our nostalgia, and then it was like the video clips of the old one and the new one, and it looks similar as far as like graphic wise. You know what I mean? Like nothing like super like new.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't like
in motion and anything. Like it looks, totally back. Like we were, didn't miss a pace. Like what I mean. Like it just jumped right into this new season. So
I don't think they like updated anything too crazy, but they did like probably make it look smoother, like a bit. But they still wanted to keep that like, no, this is just continuing from where we left off previously on X-Men.
Yeah, yeah, straight up. So it literally left off. Again, the last episode was apparently homie dying, Professor X. Mm-hmm. He was going out because of some disease. Again, he went to a planet called Soraya or something like that.
Fix whatever you need.
What was that?
They have like fix whatever you have.
Yeah. They have we have the capabilities to save your life, but they had to play it as he's dead. But Scott is actually thinking he's dead, so I feel bad that I didn't get to watch that last episode to find out what happened, because I know Scott's really like, running the helm of the team right now.
Yeah.
So let's see. Professor.
I mean, unless the only, like, again, I haven't watched it in years. I don't remember the last time I seen an episode.
Man, dude.
But unless the thing was where they were planning on sending him to a planet, but then the other guy actually did kill him before they did it. So that's the only thing I can think. Because, like you said, Scott's so like sure that he's died. Everybody's so sure that Professor is passed.
Yeah.
So maybe he got killed before that. So I'm not sure. He's looking it up.
Is that the X-Men animated series, Professor X is actually receiving medical care on an alien planet. Throughout X-Men, the animated series, Professor Xavier serves as the unwavering leader.
Yeah, we know that. We need information.
Remains committed to his dream despite graduation day summit where Henry Gyrick, who oversaw the Sentinel production, delivers a speech. However, the summit takes a deadly turn when Gyrick attacks Xavier with a sonic gun, exposing Xavier's mutant status to the world. Mortally wounded, Xavier bids farewell. He departs with Lalandra. I don't know who that is. Leaving behind the legacy. And they are gone. That's it. Let's say where he went.
He passed.
Interesting.
As far as we know, he had died.
So as of right now, he is dead.
The deadest person.
So that Sonic gun, I wonder if it was from what got Storm later. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I don't think so.
A different thing, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, you said the Sonic gun was to expose his mutant powers and everything. This and that. I think it's like that little. Okay. Okay. So we're getting into the first episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And tell me why the moment I saw their little hand cannon things, I thought of Mega Man.
Did you really?
Like immediately I saw that. I was like, why did you rip off Mega Man?
Comic, we're gonna steal some other stuff, comic sources.
I was just like, and they shot, and I'm like, okay, that's not Mega Man's blaster, but
it's
he
even like cocked it, right? Like one of them.
I think one of them, like, yeah,
and then like locked into place. Yeah, dude, that's freaking hilarious. That I again maybe to shoulder the blast, maybe like they have to have like something like big and locks onto their forearm, maybe like
I don't know.
The Mega Man.
It looked like Mega Man's blaster, and then like all these other people have it. And I was like, when did you?
Then I don't remember. And now that you say that, now I'm trying to think. Did all of them have a gun, or did they have?
No, like all of them had the blaster.
They had a blaster. Okay, like that. I was like, now I'm gonna go rewatch.
I think maybe one or two of them may have had a gun, but as far as I know, they all had the blasters. And pew pew pew.
And then Bishop. So we're gonna talk about Bishop right here. So. He comes in after Storm comes in. They pick up this guy named. He says his name is
something I don't remember.
He's part of a big family, like a rich family, because he's already acting like you can't really touch me or whatever. But he then Storm comes in. They start blasting at her. She was trying to be nice about it and stuff, like just drop your weapons.
Yeah.
Then that didn't happen. So then Bishop shows up, but Bishop, where I'm gonna make the comparison here is like I knew Bishop from the last one, and then I remember him being like a biker style. Like I can't remember his hair. Like you remember?
I can see what you're saying.
So then this guy was a little bit off key from what I remember. Yeah. But then what really threw me off was I started watching live action again. No correlation, just throwing that in there. I was starting to watch the live action, and now we got into where it was the Days of Future Past. Mm-hmm. And Elliot Page, was in his mind to use that where they were able to jump and remember because he was a time jumper, right? So in the movie, he absorbs that power through, and Brianna was the one that pointed it out, honestly. So he absorbs that power through the pain or whatever, I guess the beams, and then he channels it into his gun. And then on the show, he was able to, shoot out of his arms and stuff. So do they have any kind of correlation? Do you know by chance? But
I think it was easier for them to channel it through the gun for the live action.
Okay.
Just because
at that time, because I think it was like 2011. I think
probably, but I mean, because especially with people like Mystique changing forms all the time, that took a lot of just
their money.
Yeah, just doing that compared to Bishop's couple scenes.
And the show that put that on in front of my radar, She-Hulk. Like I didn't really think about it till they were like change form off camera. So he's like, and it shows her and she's back to normal. Like I was like. He's like, because it's too expensive or something. I was just like, wait, what? I didn't think about it like that. Like, every time they use the transformation,
the transformations are expensive, dude.
Because it's sad to say that the She-Hulk was the one that kind of put that in my forefront of my mind. But after you brought that up, it made so much more sense. Like, oh, okay, that's why that off scene happened. Like,
you're like, oh, okay, these are why you're changing them off camera. No, but I think the Bishop thing, he doesn't really have too many big parts in Days of Futures Past.
No, he was just that main, established, he's from the future, could get back to his future or something like that. And so, he just ended up sticking around. But
I think, it's easier for them to be, rather than him shooting out of his hands or whatever, just have him harness it into the gun and shoot the gun with the ability because it's easier to absorb it, make it look
like there's a light or something. Yeah.
Into a gun rather than having digital effects on your hands. And
goes to Captain Marvel when at that time we might have not had that kind of like capability. You know what I mean? But I mean the Sentinels look pretty badass in that Days of Future Past.
They did look good.
Yeah, but again. That's where the money's at, you know what I mean? All those like flailing metal parts and where they were changing and all that. So yeah. So again that was a different interpretation. So let's go into it now back to Bishop. Oh, when Cyclops come in.
Oh yeah.
They did my boy justice. Like he's always talked about like being like an Omega, but not an Omega. Like he's not an established Omega level mute threat.
I think he's an Alpha level mute.
But he's up there.
No, Alphas are higher. I think.
No, it's Omega.
It's Beta, Alpha, and then Omega. Yeah. So I think he's Alpha.
So he's up there, but he's skimming the lines of Omega. You know what I mean? Like
especially with how powerful his ability can be. It's funny because me and Bree were just talking about it too. Like she's like the live action Cyclops compared to the cartoon Cyclops. They're like he's so much better in here. And then the abilities of live action. Yeah, the live action abilities were kind of lackluster, but then they also made him just like
a whiny baby.
Yeah, the annoying, but she's my girlfriend type person, and I'm the annoying wannabe older brother, but in charge of everything, but nobody wants to listen. But the cartoon really shows his like leadership and his powers to where they should really be.
Yeah,
like they're pretty.
I'm telling you, boy came in cold, like was moonwalking with his beam, bro. Like. Wow, so I was like, okay, we just gonna start skating across the building with your beam, bro. Like, dude was cold with it, man. I was like, oh, he's ricocheting off another dude, but going blasting himself to another dude. Like, dude, when he came in, I was like, oh. This is a sudden change of pace real quick.
You said, hold on, he could do that?
Exactly, dog. Like, I remember the movies were so stuck in my head. Like, again, I read in comics, I read on online forums where they said, Cyclops, go hard, you know what I mean? I was like, when? Like, you know what I mean? But where? Like, because I can vaguely remember the 97 series or the original X-Men animated series, and I remember him being, decent. I remember him, putting up his fights, when he had his fights. But with that intro, bro, that made you realize, homie put some practice in that bomb center or whatever that they train in.
Oh yeah,
like that boy did some work in there, like so. That was so sick, dude. I don't know about you, but he was like, just bah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's funny because even my wife was like, damn, like, okay. Like, he just, like, slides it. And then, like, she's like, it must be annoying, though, having to, like...
That was what I was just about to get at. So, he has to use his finger, right? So, when he does, right, it's... All right. So if he can put down a person with his beam, like, do you think he can control the intensity of the beam and the purpose of the beam?
That's what he's using his finger for, because he dilates how much he needs the beam to be. So he basically controls his power through that because he doesn't have actual control over it. I think
hence when they took the visor off,
it just
blew up everything.
Yeah,
interesting.
So. I don't remember exactly why he doesn't have control over powers. I feel like it was something like happened and he got hit on the head and it messed up his power. Because you're born with your mutant powers. Mm-hmm. So from a young age, he would have been just blasting them off no matter what. But I think at a young age, if something, like I probably read it somewhere, or it might have been like the alternate universe or something, but he got hit or something, and that's why his blast is just constant full power output. So then when the glasses, there has to be like a red ruby quartz that holds the blast in. And when he's using his powers, he dials how much intensity and how powerful he wants them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you could see him like push a person back or not.
Interesting. Okay, because that's what I was like curious. I was like, some of them are hurting them, some of them are like putting them down for like stunning them. Yeah. So I was just curious as is he, and then future sight when that speaking of intros when he comes in, after the destroyer of the plane,
Dude,
like,
that was,
bro. Boy,
that was amazing. So
he's like, look at his team.
Is it still episode 1 that happened?
I think so.
I think so because I think episode 2 is all about like
all Magneto. It's all Magneto. Yeah. So okay, let's wait for that little spot. See Zaku, what's up, man? Glad you're tuning in. Mr. Sinister got Cyclops beat up as a kid with a blow to the head. Nice.
So yeah,
so you were almost there. Okay. So all right. So he hit him with a blow in the head, and then he messed up his ultimate, like his control of his vision. I'm assuming. So I haven't heard anybody want that guy. Is
Mr. Sinister?
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's. I haven't really heard anybody like want a live action version of him, but I think it's like kind of a. He's cool, but like I think bigger names like Apocalypse and.
The
bigger, heavier,
big. What is it? The big box, names that are
that's what everybody. Mr. Sinister, he's a really good villain, but
is he one of those one and dones though, or
no? Like you got to remember though, Marvel doesn't really have one and dones. They like constantly bring their people back. So,
I don't know.
I take that back.
I don't know what Marvel.
I take that back. The comics Marvel bring their people back. The cinematic universe, they're a whole nother story.
They said you're not worthy of rewrites. You're not worthy to be in the next script.
Dude, honestly, they pissed me off at some of the people they killed.
Oh, trust me. I know. I was like, some of them. I was just like, the comics made this guy like really, again, aka Thor. They made Gore the God Butcher like intense in the comics, like kills him, like makes Thor go through like a real life like crisis in his head, like what is he gonna be, like how is he supposed to be, and then this whole funny movie comes out and just like
I'm just like I can understand.
Again, he's not dead. He's not dead, but he already had his real life awakening because he saw his daughter sacrifice herself. Like what was?
Wait, which one are we talking about?
Gore, but at the very end, right?
No, he did die.
No, he didn't die.
I'm pretty sure he died.
No.
He brought her back with the last wish because he was already.
That's what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. See. Mr. Sinister is how Cable came to be.
Yes, you know who he's talking.
Yes.
And Mr. Sinister is the reason why things happen the way they happen. So he kind of goes.
So he messes with their son.
Yeah.
Like head wise, or like
no, he actually, I think
convinces him.
So Zaku can help me a little bit because I'm not sure about the exact terms, but he puts like some type of like I want to call it like a disease or a curse or something, but it's like techno something where your body starts becoming like machine parts.
Okay.
So that's why when you see Cable in the future, his whole like arm is completely mechanical. But he went to like an alternate future or alternate like reality or something, learning how to fight it off or like try to
find the cure. Okay.
Yeah, but he's never found a cure. He only was able to ever suppress it, which is why it's gotten as far as it has, but it should have gotten further by that point. But it's also thanks to his
shit. He's going ahead. We'll get to that in a minute.
For all of those that don't know,
yeah,
don't look at that comment.
Do not tune into Twitch comments right now. Let's see.
Hide it.
Speaking of, I'm only seeing Twitch comments. Let's make sure I'm not missing any.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure. Okay,
you are right, Zaku.
Yeah, you are right. So, they bring homie back. They bring him back to the house.
The kid
back in that. Yeah. So they saved him, brought him back. They're tripping again. Oh, I missed a part. So where he did his optic blast.
Yeah.
So when they did, I watched it the first time through and I didn't think of anything of it. But the second time through, I paused it on the newspaper ad, and it was speaking of a mutant like ball or like a gala for like outfits. But on the top part, it says, "Is Spider-Man a mutant?" In question. I was like, okay, page 5. And then on the next one was like some mutant summit, and then it was gonna be photographed by Eddie Block, and I thought it was Eddie Brock, but it said Block. If I'm not mistaken, it says Block. And then photographs by Peter Parker. So I was like, because it was the Daily Bugle. So I was like, oh shit! I was like, cool. I knew I had to pause that. So a little fun little tip there. So is Spider-Man a mutant? No, because he's not born with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because
mutants have
the gene, right? Okay, cool. I thought I'd, establish that, really quick because
mutants have the gene and they're born with their abilities. Anybody that gets their abilities from different means aren't considered mutants. They're just enhanced individuals.
All right, so yes, so that happened, and I think that's when they found out. Now a little segue again, so little ties into what I'm because I'm watching the old movies. Trask is done by what's his name? Oh my gosh,
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage.
And he's portrayed in that version, and they have him in the animated series when they go to the I guess the dump. Is that where they're at? Like a landfill?
He was, what they said, in the Sahara Desert? Or was it?
Like the largest landfill or something, I believe, So, but that is where it happened. So on the way there, they get attacked by a sentinel, right? And again, spoiler alerts, if you haven't watched the 97, this is all, filled in with spoilers. They rip it apart. He slices the sentinel with his laser beam, and then they're all on a free fall. And you'd figure like they would all panic. None of them panicked. They were all like, "Let's do it!" Like, you know what I mean? Like, game plan, let's execute. You know what I mean? Like, and so I thought that was legit. Like,
he's like, "This is what we planned for."
Yeah, and that's, instantly, like, Storm did her thing. Rogue flies. I didn't know that. I didn't remember that. So like,
I just had this discussion with Bree too. Rogue gets some abilities from Captain Marvel by holding on to her till she died. And
on the last in the show, because I don't remember Captain Marvel in the animated series. Because
I don't remember her in the animated series, but then again, I haven't watched it, so
okay.
But
I'm gonna have to go back.
In the comics too, she
gets that from her, right?
She like held onto her to the point where she had passed, and then she gets her abilities permanently within herself, so she could fly. She has super strength, and I think she could absorb some energy.
Interesting. Let's see. Clone was made by Mr. Sinister. Spider-Man showed up in the X-Men back in the 90s, yeah, because I remember that, because they showed a crossover of Spider-Man or whatever.
Dude, that old 90s Spider-Man was cool, too.
It was just good writing back in the day, man. Where we were getting at, guys, earlier, and now we're here, is, so everyone had their purpose. Storm went and picked up someone. Rogue went and grabbed Wolverine.
Yeah.
Morph transformed into an X-Men or someone with flying abilities.
Yeah.
Went and picked up
Beast.
And then who else? Jubilee, I think. So Rogue picked up Jubilee and Beast, I think.
Jubilee and Wolverine.
Oh, and then when they did that, then Scott, I don't know, it was like, cool, like everybody's ready, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and,
see y'all on the ground.
See y'all on the ground, and then like, dude, like that again, just the cloud separating due to the beam. You know what I mean?
That beam was intense. I was just like,
and the yell for it too. He's like, oh. Boo!
Dude, that energy beam was like when he landed too. He had created that crater for himself, and it was just like, dude, he like went hard right there. That was so good.
Someone was like, Scott has the neck of a freaking rhinoceros or something like that.
Oh, to be able to handle that, yeah.
Freaking pressure.
Yes.
When I read that comment, dude, I died. I was like, what? Again, I see that kind of be your thought process. Like, thinking in realistic terms, like, motherfucker gotta have to stab a straw.
Well, I mean, now that you put it in that perspective, yeah.
to take it like a jet landing, you know what I mean?
I mean, he does train his neck muscles every time he messes with his beam. So every time he's like,
like, dude, that had me rolling, bro. But dude, again, just like the best way to describe it was like a Elon Musk. The you know when that rocket was coming back down,
yeah,
it was showing like just the trajectory of the beam going down, and then again the crater that he left, and just the clear out, and he's in the super landing, superhero landing,
Yes.
I was like, ooh, and then again to say the iconic. Doctor, Professor X's, line, to me, my X-Men. I was like, woo! And then the little X-Men like theme,
it's played in the, especially when they had that like. So from there they go to visit who was it? Was it Trask?
Yeah.
They go see Trask, and they're trying to tell him to shut down the.
I guess it's like a mold. So they can make the Sentinels based off of that, like that king mold that he had in the chair or something like that.
And so they're trying to tell him, just stop, come with us. We don't want to hurt you. And then he like, oh, but you guys have to worry about yourself. And all the Sentinels come out, and then the music playing in the back with it was just so good.
When they started going into it, and started to fight,
and then you see all the X-Men using their different abilities, like it was really good.
Again, it goes back to Rogue. In my mind, I was like, okay, this she's gonna just one-handed, rock bottom this freaking Sentinel. I don't know. Again, I need to go rewatch it because again, I forgot how she's not naturally like that, right? Again,
her natural ability is just to absorb. Yeah.
Okay. So she has. So either these powers are gonna leave her, right, or she absorbed it now enough that she kept them.
Normally, they will leave her, like depending on how long she touches somebody, their abilities last a certain length. But she held on to Captain Marvel so long that when she passed, her abilities were like some of her abilities were permanently stuck onto Rogue. So
interesting.
But dude,
rest in peace, Rogue lost her butt
when she transformed.
Character development.
You'll get it back.
Gains.
But that it was funny because I was just talking to Shannon about the Omega level mutants, and we were just like discussing, like I was like, oh yeah, this person, whatever. And then right after we were just like, I had paused it before that, and then right when we start watching it, it's like Omega level threat detected. And she's like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then you see Storm coming. Like, dude.
So tell me what you think. Bree said it was corny, but I thought it was badass. What did you think about the line that he said?
Which one?
Give him the forecast.
Oh yeah, that was a little.
Okay.
I was just like. It had that corniness, but at the same time, it was just good enough to where I was like, that's fine. Because I was like, if it was for anybody else, it probably wouldn't. But she brought it so damn hard. I was just like, yeah, that's good. I'll do that.
All right, I'll let that pass. Like, dude, Bree was like, she looked at me, she's like, that's corny. I laughed so hard, bro.
She's like, they couldn't come up with anything else? It's the 90s. What do you expect?
It's 97 for a reason. Dude, she literally just looked at me. She's like, that was corny. I was like, oh my gosh.
At first, I was gonna say something like that too, and I was like, I'm gonna care for that one as much.
Play this out.
And then I watched it. I was like, okay, it's fine.
Dude, she came in with force, bro. Dude. Like, again, underutilized her at the beginning of the episode. Like, she just did little hand swirls, little tornadoes, like lightning, whatever.
Well, at that point, she's not trying to like really hurt anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's trying to take out these Sentinels because, of course, Sentinels are all bad, whatever. So, or they're taking out mutants. Yeah. So she came in with some force, some gusto, bro. Like, she said, to reclaim these relics, these ancient relics with hate. Like, she started. I really like that portrayal again. Like the you can hear because she's from Africa, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that I was like, you can hear that, that dialect, and that's why I kind of like that Storm. Again, Halle Berry did her thing. But that dialect alone was just like, ooh.
Well, hers, and then you have Gambit and Rose, both like Southern people.
They said like
Well, I know Gambit's from New Orleans.
Yeah,
if I remember.
But what's the dialect? But Bayou, like they had a Bayou accent. Like, I think that's what they were like. From the Bayou, kind of Cajun. There we go, Cajun accent. Yeah, it's like I can't think of the dang word. Zaku said in at least one story, Storm is Black Panther's. Yep. Black Panther's wife. I remember that. They have a son. I think
so.
So if I remember correctly too, but
Storm is a goddess. Like,
so yeah,
that Storm is probably like she's so far up there in terms of just power. Like I know, and if I remember reading it correctly, I haven't read any of the comic books or anything in a while, guys. But I remember reading something about Storm being like lost in outer space at one point.
Okay.
But her powers were so dang strong that she was able to control outer space storms. And then have her ability to bring her back to Earth.
Holy shit.
Like, she's a whole next level. She was, like, able to control, like, whole, like, storms out there. I'm like,
I'm going to remember this. I'm going to table that conversation. She comes into a key part at the end of episode 2. Mm-hmm. Speaking of her powers and stuff.
Yes.
But when she came in again, like she made a desert because they made it a thing to show like a sand hill and like just a lightning, and then it like froze. It turned into ice. Yeah, it turned to glass. I thought it was ice. I was like, well, so I was just like, ooh, she came in. I'm telling you guys, like hot, just like Scott came in hot in the very beginning with a little moonwalk laser beam, like. Dude came like this chick came in solid. And again, to have the Sentinels detected, like instantly, like mid fight stopped, and they were like Omega level, detected.
We're like, we need to get that one.
Yeah,
no, but she had a few like sand dunes around her, and that all turned to glass, and then she had it like pulled up into like the tornado and just have
to slide up when they slide the
mess. Dude, that was so cool.
Dude, like it was dirty, and then they were all like just fall. Like you just like stop, let them fall. You know what I mean? Like, and then again, all while playing the X-Men theme in the back. I think that part like stopped or like it like zoned out the music just a little bit.
Yeah.
To like focus on her like storm abilities, and then it like brought it back when they did the whole charging of Wolverine.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, bro. Gambit gave that. I don't know what he did, but he like supercharged Wolverine's blades and then to tag team it, you know what I mean? Like, so how did he get slingshot? He kicked him, right? Or something like that.
So Wolverine was running, and then Gambit charged up his staff, threw it behind Wolverine to blast him over. Then Morph turned into Blob and lay down so Wolverine could jump off of him and then cut the head off. Dude, it was,
and that yell.
Yes, I was like, dude, that was so clean how well their teamwork went through. I was just like, yo.
My goodness. It was so flawless, bro. Like, again, going back to the movies where they're all disproportionate, no one likes nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like, I'm watching these movies, man, and again, in conjunction, X-Men '97 came out, and then my wife pointed out that Disney Plus. So FYI for anybody that's tuning in, Disney Plus put all the X-Men movies on there. Not in chronological order. They didn't take the time to make sure they put a timeline order like all the other movies in the Disney disc. Like they have them organized, and Multiverse Saga, the Infinity Saga, X-Men. Just is thrown in there. It says X-Men Collection. Good luck. Like you click it. There's no. So
they said here's 21st Century Fox stuff. Here's the scraps.
They're lucky we gave it a title. Like
Deadpool's coming to fix this for us. Don't worry.
So you go in there and everything's there. So I went back and looked at all of those. I'm starting it. Me and Bree are watching them, and so. We're on number 2. It's in the chronological order, which is Days of Futures Past. And it again brought in Trask. It brought in all these, people that we're talking about now. And again, it's animated and like live action X-Men. That's what hurt the most for all of us because this animated series had like all these characters, beloved characters like that people were in love with. And they just, I don't even know what Fox was doing. Like I really don't. Like I don't know if they were trying to make it like a rom, what is it? Romance, superhero movie, like rom hero, like.
They're like, we'll make some money somehow.
Hero antic movie, like. So that's what they did. Like they took off with they try to make it to what's my word? Like they focused on the kills for the thrills, like killing people off to make it a big impact. Like you had these characters that have arcs on top of arcs on top of arcs on top of arcs, and they just flatlined them. You know what I mean? Like just. Here's your powers. This is where you're gonna be, but we're not gonna give them the full scale guy. Like you know what I mean? Like we never saw that iconic guy outfit. So we never saw any of that. X-Men First Class gave us a hint at some of them. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of which, have you watched that one?
The First Class? Yeah.
That one probably bothered me. One of the most was when they killed Darwin. Because his ability is to be able to. He's named Darwin because his ability is evolution right now. Like anything he's trapped in, his body will somehow find a way to react to it to make sure it lasts. So and then they killed him off so damn quick.
So when he swallowed that thing, he should have been able
his body would almost instantly try to
fight it, right? Like a virus.
Yeah.
Darwin can't die. Exactly. So it's to show that the enemy is something to fear.
For which part?
It's to show that the enemy is something to fear. I think it's because that was what X-Men's Days of Future Past kind of was talking about, but I don't know if that's what he meant. But he said Darwin can't die, adapt.
Yeah, his whole thing is survivability. Like he's supposed to adapt to things at that moment. It's supposed to give him the ability to live.
You would figure that they would have been able to, tie him in or make him more serious, so not kill him because that was the whole purpose of Mystique. So the whole Sentinel program took leaps and bounds because she went to go try to kill Trask, and they got her, and then they got her DNA, and then the DNA created the new Sentinels.
Dude, I got so mad when I saw that. I was like, what are you talking about? You're going to take their abilities off of Mystique. I was like, their Mystique's ability is just to be able to change form, not change abilities. I was like, what the hell is going on? If anything, you would go off of Rogue.
I was going to say Darwin
or Rogue. You get one of those two and you'd be able to do it. But I was so upset with that. I was like, why? But at that point, I think Mystique was popular and she was very big.
Yeah, you're right. Because all she does is morph. She can't use their abilities. She just can look like them.
Yeah, when she does transform into Wolverine, I think that's the first X-Men, and then she does the claws because it still physical. He like she can't copy the adamantium. So, but it's just like she can't copy their abilities either. She can't heal. Wolverine doesn't have scars, but he left scars on her. Like, like there's gonna be things that you can and cannot do.
When they kill off heroes.
Oh, he's talking about it's the enemies are something to be afraid of when they kill off the heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Build it up. And see, I wouldn't even mind some of these movies like becoming like series, live action series. You know what I mean? Like multiple seasons. Use the 380 million budget to like make a badass 3 seasons of something. You know what I mean? But ixnay the romance and all the love and well being of someone.
Then what would you have with Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine? Like, I need that there.
Yeah. Okay. Don't make it so heavy on the reason of the plot. There you go. Like throw them in there, but have their little scene of the love triangle, and then back to the action or something. You know what I mean? Like don't focus 2 to 3 episodes of Jean making Wolverine fat. Wolverine doesn't want to go into battle, so then Jean, all the team goes in. They find out they can't do it without Wolverine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just that is like 5 episodes too much already. Like, give me the love, the action, the love triangle. Then like episode 2, like they find out their problems, then they're back at it or whatever. So let's see. The actress who everyone wanted at the same time.
Well, in Days of Future Past
was the main focus.
The Days of Future Past, wasn't it?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I'm not really good.
Yeah, it's Jada. That's what it is. So X-Men First Class. I don't remember the original Mystique, but X-Men First Class brought Jennifer Lawrence when she was at her peak, and Brie was actually bringing that up too because she said that was around the time Jennifer Lawrence actually got caught slack with her fans because she was talking about how she was body positive, like doesn't matter what you look like, you can look, how you look and still be beautiful, whatever. And then she goes on to lose all that weight for the X-Men First Class and X-Men Days of Future Past.
Well, I mean, at that point though, I mean, like I don't understand why the people are gonna get upset about her for that, because if she's gonna get that role and you're trying to portray an image of a character, you want to look as close to the character as you can, not be like 100 pounds over.
That's what got me about Robert Pattinson, bro. Like, you got this role. You work so hard. You talked about wanting it, and you don't put in the work. Like, you didn't put in the work to get the muscle. Like, he admitted, like, I think on an interview that he was upset that he didn't, put more time into, like, his physical attributes.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm right there with you, bro. Like, that's why I gave Affleck the benefit of the doubt, because
Affleck put in the work.
Boy, was just stock. Like,
that dude came in.
That was actually my brother's, argument. He's like, dude, Affleck's Batman was, on point. I was like, yes, because he's a man amongst gods. Like, he knew
he had to but then on top of that too, his character is the only one that could turn his head. Every other Batman. Yes, whenever they turn it on. But Ben Affleck's character, and I remember talking about this with one of the people that I knew, his cowl, what they did was like they double walled it so that way when it turns, it would actually bend and maneuver with the head, but everything else is just straight. And so it made his neck look a little bit thicker, but it went along with Ben Affleck's build too. Mm-hmm. So it fit the whole aesthetic. And then I think what had happened was what was it? Because the first time you see Batfleck is when? In Batman vs. Superman?
I think you're right, yeah.
Uh-huh. But then he comes in again later, and then, I don't know if you noticed, but he can't turn his head anymore. They gave him a more straight one again. Because whatever had happened, I guess the production team was in contention with the people that made that first cowl, and they're like, well, fine, we won't have to do it, and they took their stuff back. And so I was like, dude, you just ruined a very good Batman like whole setup.
Yeah, by that
yeah,
that
like
one little
just being able to do this, but him being able to do this, I'm like, it made it so much better.
Rebecca Romijn was the first Mystique, okay, and then Ben Affleck was the animated Batman. Yep, straight up, dude. Like, boy, put in the work. He was super swole. Had all the the broodiness, the correct character to both the Batman and what is it
Wayne.
Thomas, not Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne. I completely agree to that for sure. So, but back to X-Men. So yes, so they hated on her for that. You know what I mean? But we're talking about movies. We're back to the show. Like, again, guys, you have to go look them up. Back to that whole thing. Got to go look up the chronological order and then watch it. So the way they came out was not how they came. So Bree's all confused right now because she's like, so wait. Days of Future Past, wiped around everything. I was like, nope. That's the first wipe. Now Deadpool's kind of wipe it one more time because on X-Men Origins, she's kind of tripping on X-Men's Wolverine's origin right now. I was like, again, babe, this came out after all these movies, so they rewrote everything, and this chronological order is only the timeline via 1979, 1973, 1984. That is what we're doing right now. She's like, I think we should have just watched them as they came out. Like, I was like, release order? No, you would even be more lost. Like, I was like, maybe. I was like, maybe you'll be more lost. So
you never know. Sometimes it does make sense after because you have the knowledge of everything you watched previously.
Okay.
Watching it like Days of Future Past after, you're like, okay, I can see some of the differences and everything.
Okay. So yeah, that's where we're at. So the next one's really gonna throw her off because what is it? The Days or X-Men's First Class teaser or after credits scene was the Four Horsemen and Apocalypse. All the whole pyramid being done. So for us to jump into X-Men Origins Wolverine, she's like, so what happened to the Four Horsemen? I was like, that's gonna be the next movie. Like Apocalypse is after this one. She's like, what is going on?
Yeah, you really should have just watched them in release order.
I feel so bad for Bria. I was like, because I'm following it. I know she's struggling. Like, I hope I can catch her up like you would buff me on a show. But yeah, so.
Oh man, no, yeah, you should have watched it in release order. I can't just.
So she caught on to the Trask. She's like, he's not short. Like, I know, babe. I was like, just know that the character is key if they did it in the animated series and they did it in the live action. Like, so I was like, that person was the reason of the Sentinels. I was like, of the program and everything. Like, Trask is the reason. Like, because again, he believes thoroughly that we do not need mutant humankind like to coexist. And then what is it? So they take out that main one. I'm curious about the chick in the glasses. Do you know who she is? Like, is she like a Waller or something? Like for the CIA on the animated series? Cause she's something. She's a part of the CIA or something like that.
She's high up there. I think she's like.
She's not the president, right?
No, but she probably is part of like national security stuff and whatever. Like working with mutant stuff.
Yeah.
Like mutant affairs.
I'm pretty sure they have that division in the world of X-Men.
I mean, after seeing them do certain things, yeah, I would hope so. Freaking Magneto playing Legos with buildings and stuff.
She's not on here, or it doesn't show me the
pictures.
Pictures of them.
Do you remember the name?
No, I just know she's pops up there at the end in the helicopter.
Yeah,
and they're trying to figure out again what's going on. They didn't know that the Sentinel program was still continuing, and that they're shocked. So they're trying to get she's trying to like get down to the nitty gritty of understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
Cast of characters. More. DaCosta, that's his name. I don't remember her name, guys, but she's would say a key character because she's coming in as like again just a mid ground person between the government and them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but then it goes on to episode 2, and when we go on to episode 2, we get a little bit more of.
Well, at the end of episode 1, we find out that Charles Xavier's left everything to Magneto. Everything he owned.
Oh yeah, that was the twist.
X-Men, everything, he's left it to him.
Will in testament, he pulls it out on them. What were they at? They were in the
school when they found out.
No, the alarm went off, right? They were in the school and they said someone's coming in or something like that. Shooters, so they go to the main office. They're like tripping while he's there, and sure enough, he goes on to say it will in testament. Charles Xavier, gave it to him, and cliffhanger, like it just left you like, oh snap, like here we go. You know what I mean? So. Lets them know that. So 100%, yeah, I was gonna completely skip that. I forgot. He left them dumbfounded. Then that next episode is when he is explaining everything. Like he's
trying to be a better person.
Yeah, that's what I was
do whatever he can to believe in Charles's dream, but he still has trouble with it. And I think they show early on in the episode, they show that clip of him going to save the mutants in the sewers or whatever from these people.
Was that a sneak peek of him doing good, right?
Yeah, or no, I think it was after the sneak peek of him saving the people on the carousel and everything.
Oh,
the Ferris wheel. Like the Ferris wheel almost collapsed, and he saves them, and then everybody's like, "What the hell is Magneto?" He's actually helping us.
They're like, Even the news people were tripping. They're like, unanimously evil. Magneto was the one that saved the Ferris wheel.
So what is going on here?
Yeah, straight up.
But then after all that, he goes in these mutant activist people were trying to kill some mutants down in the sewers. And then the mutants were like, "Oh, hey, we're not trying to bother anybody," and they were gonna kill him. And Magneto comes in. And he's like, "Damn!" He's like, "You don't even allow them the sewage water that you guys have." And he bangs a few of them up, but holds them against the thing, the walls with the metal. And he's just like, "You won't be afraid again. Don't worry." Right. So it kind of gave me he still wants to do.
Because again, his dream, I see it, you know what I mean? I understand it. But he's again, because he's who he is, he wants to command it, you know what I mean? He wants it forced on the humankind. Too bad, so sad. We mutants, exist, live with it, as opposed to Charles, very passive, let's save them and show humankind that we can coexist. You know what I mean? So just two complete opposites of the same coin. You know what I mean? They both have the same value, but they just one's black and one's white. You know what I mean? So again, that's a whole different portrayed in the.
You good?
That's a mosquito or something. That they portrayed in the movie as well. You know what I mean? He wants nothing to do with Magneto whatsoever, because Magneto's vision is we're gonna stamp this in their head. We need to show him we are.
It's a show of force.
Show of force. And we're the superior. That no matter what they can do, we're gonna always be better. You know. But. What do you think about Magneto's appearance?
Dude, I honestly like it.
You like it?
I'm stuck with the live action Magneto in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this Magneto, the way he looks and the longer hair and everything.
Well, I was gonna say, how did you like it? I like it. I thought it was pretty dope. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's different. I was like, let me check the old one. I was like, yeah, it falls in line. I was like, and they even show a comic arc of it. I don't know what comic line it was, but it shows them in that iconic M, that huge bodysuit M and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking mad stuff about the gloves. What do you think about the gloves? They're like fancy lady gloves. That's what they call them. They're like, I can deal with the getting rid of the fancy lady glove, but
I mean, I don't mind it too much. I'm like, it's the comics. It was at that time like everybody had to be like,
over the top. Yeah. Because that's what they were bashing about. What is it? Scarlet Witch. You know what I mean? Like her outfit was over sexualized. Like. Had a V, I think, to right here, you know what I mean? It only had like these little panels that like went up above her breast, you know what I mean? So yeah, everyone talks about it. So yeah, I guess you can see what I mean. See what you're saying. Again, they didn't portray it like that in the show. That vibrant, like purple, red. I don't know how to explain it. It was like wine.
I think in the live action it went more like magenta type colors,
like a red wine. Yeah, like a real. I don't have like an interpretation, like just a maroon, like a deep maroon, you know what I mean? Like, and that one's like a purple wine, like red wine, like type color, like it looked legit, like
I honestly like his look in the
voice acting is good too.
It's really good.
The voice acting is legit.
Did the lip sync ever mess up on you?
I feel like it hadn't been on par since the beginning of it. Like I was trying to see, like it felt more anime than anime. Like at some point I was like, it does not sound like they're saying that. Like what I mean? They end with the ah sound when it was supposed to be an O sound. Like it doesn't look like it. So yeah, I'm on par with that.
There were some parts where I'm like, yo, that looked odd. Like I'm like, maybe I'm paying attention too much to this. But now,
I'm drinking. Damn water. Like
at the end, I was like, yo, why are there two jeans?
Straight up, bro. Get into that comment. We're getting there. Might want too many. Like,
put this down now.
Only 2 episodes? Okay, I'll finish it now. But
what do you mean I'm 4 beers in? That's 2 per episode. Come on.
No. So Magneto's outfit was pretty cool. Again, it goes back to they super shocked because again Scott was in the helm of everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was already getting bite back from Rogue and Wolverine, Gambit. He's like, I don't know if I like Gambit, you know what I mean? Like, because he was getting on to him on the first episode, like, yo, where y'all at? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
y'all should have helped out. He's like,
y'all had it. You know what I mean? My beignets were more needed. You're my help more than you love. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to like the voice acting. From the movies to the show, like, Fox, like, what were you doing? Like, who were you guys? Like, I don't. Dude, honestly, that's some good sources. I don't care. Like,
I was telling Bree that too. I was just like, there's some stuff that, like, because real quick tangent, we were talking about the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
And it was just like, there were some beats in there that I was like, okay, this is cool. And I was like, why the hell would you change this? I was like, don't change that. Okay, this could have been better. Now you're changing up your own lore. What the hell's going on? I was like, you have the blueprint right there. Just turn it on. Watch it.
I think that when you, to tie into this little segue here, is that was why the creators jumped off ship.
Yeah.
I was like, when it finally came out, I was like, I bet that's why they were probably, off board with it. They were like, literally 3-4 episodes in, and wait. We're gonna change the intro. Wait, this lady's got to talk about the source line, and we're not gonna blame Fire Nation. Like, I don't think you have to go that way. And it's like, no, we got this. Like, so I think that's when they jumped off ship was during that. But
see, like what X-Men did, like they basically X-Men 97 basically was like, so this is what we got. We're just gonna put it over here now,
and I don't know if we said it on like live or the show was able to stop, and then you jump right into this one, and you didn't miss anything.
No, it's just like perfect, fit in perfect, like seamlessly.
Nothing, no gap, no in today's future or what is it, present day, you know what I mean? Like,
they basically said, yo, we took a 20-year hiatus, now we're back.
Yeah. This what is it on this episode of X-Men, like, right? 30 years later,
people waking up from a coma and be like, wait, it's still running?
That's put out the title. Is it 2024, right? It is 2024, right? Like, come on.
Dude, I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, yeah. What are you talking about? It's because, like, they're bringing a lot of stuff back, which I enjoy, but bring it back right. And X-Men 97 brought it back right. Mm-hmm. Like, they're doing it the right way. They're not deviating from much. Like, the comics are all kinds of craziness goes on. So, in all honesty, they could go throw something at the wall and it'll stick. Mm-hmm. So
it goes back to, like, they don't one-off on the animated series because they have ways of, you know, bringing it back or whatever. Easier than in the long run scheme of MCU, you know what I mean? So, it really just dropped off and brought right back where we left off, and that's what, again, we needed. Yes. We needed some type of stabilization right now. Like, with everything that's been going on, they heeded our calls of our cries of, like, help, and they answered it with that. But I even like that it's now another subcategory of Marvel. So it's Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Studios, and then Marvel Animation.
And I love that too, because I'm just like, hear me out. If they could do this right and actually finish this and stick a landing, Marvel now has something against DC's animated universe. And DC's almost always had a strong animated universe.
Yep.
Better than their live action. Better than their live action. But if Marvel could stick the landing and actually produce animated stuff like this and do it well, DC's in real trouble. Like, it depends on how.
So so you're like saying, let's say, because we've only seen X-Men this way. Well, no, not necessarily under the Marvel helm. But there have been Marvel animated series, right? They did have, like, series where,
like the Spider-Man series,
and all that, you know, with Captain America in the mix and all that, right? Yeah. So I see what you're saying.
But then, what I'm saying too is, like, the Marvel animation is X-Men 97. It's also
old X-Men.
The What If. You got the older X-Men, but that was before they got a hold of it again. But I'm like, just with the What If and the X-Men 97, they're already going pretty good. Granted, they pushed a little too hard on some people in What If, but outside of that, like, the animation and the storylines are pretty decent. Like, so if they could continue this trend, DC is gonna have to look out for their animated series on top of what's the name trying to do a live action.
What's even harder is now. James Gunn is going into this seamless universe of animated is tied into live action.
That's too difficult.
And then now Marvel's going into its own, like, this is its own thing and this is our other thing. You know what I mean? So, like, again, I think you're right. Like, DCU's in a world of pain if they can take off on this animated, universe. Like,
and in all honesty, the way it's going right now, animation might do better than live action at the moment.
Again, because of the stories. Yeah, I 100% because the stories can mirror the comics. They have the source. Mm-hmm. Just throw in some freaking, like, animation to it. We're golden. Like, these pages onto, like you say, the manga, the thing, like to see a fight from, black and white to, full, studio animation, like, to just be like, yes, like, that's all I wanted, like, you know what I mean? So for them to have these comic book sources and to put it now in the studio that they have, Marvel Animation, and, like, go with it, like, man. I talk about, like, next level, storytelling, what I mean? Like, and then again, to have its own, like, monster house of a live action, so You know, I think you would get the best of both worlds as far as like, you know, people wanting and getting what they want. Like, you know, cheer for the fans. Like, you know, this is for the fans, you know, so.
And I think along the way, so, like, you know, most companies lose that, but it's still like, without the fans, you ain't going to get nowhere, so.
Yeah, and that goes back to that. Like, we're such simple creatures. We're telling you, like, do they not go onto these comments and like look at oh man, we got, you know, if they're looking at the view count, go look at the guy. Just scroll the comments, the top 100 comments. Just look at what they say, and you have probably the material for your next movie. You know what I mean? Because the people want what they want. You know what I mean? Like,
and you would be surprised how many people agree with certain things other people want. Like,
yep.
You could tie like several storylines. Like, I feel like some stories just try to tie like 3 or 4 storylines together too fast. You could tie 2 to 3 storylines in, but don't make them so jumbled. Now I lost the plot. Have them weave in together the proper way, and you'll be fine.
Like that. Do you feel that way with Civil War? Like that, you know. Again, this Civil War comic was like, I think 15, you know, comics to the finale. Like, it was a 15 comic book arc.
Yeah.
And like, again, they built this Civil War to like, again, in the comics, the Civil War paper is like huge, top to bottom, with all, you know, the people, all the, you know,
every hero chose a side.
And you had just like 5 and 5, like, you know what I mean, like mosquitoes, like, you know.
Like, okay. And then there's just like your 2 strongest people, Vision and freaking Wanda. They're on opposite sides, but that's only because they can only counter each other somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm like, otherwise it's a one-sided
done. Yeah. So yeah, just I think you're right. I think they're on to something, and DC will be in a world of pain if they can't.
If they can't pull it out right, they're gonna hurt very bad.
And again, the mesh. You're about to say James Gunn. I think you're about to say James Gunn's now joined universe as far as animated and live action. Now, you know, Marvel's separated universe of animation and live action. You know,
so you're gonna see which one. You're gonna see which one works better. It's either the cohesion or the separation. And at the moment, I think the separation is going to be the best way to go, unless James Gunn, I don't know how he's going to pull it off, is able to seamlessly be like, this happened in the comic or in the animation, this happened in the live action, but they work together. The only issue with that is, same issue I have with Marvel at the current time, is I have to watch the animation to understand the next movie. Okay. So now you're making me go back
for like the fans that are not the fans that didn't know that they had to watch WandaVision, all those leading, or like Winter Soldier and the Falcon. They needed to watch it before they watched Brave New World. Because
I'm like, there's so many things we didn't watch because I'm just like, I don't have to keep up with it. I'm tired of this. And then the next movie is building off of that series. So now I'm like, so I have to watch it. You're forcing my hand now. If I want to understand it fully, which I don't feel any movie should be, unless you're like a
series, or is it a trilogy?
Yeah, trilogy. Unless you're a trilogy building off of each other, I don't feel like anything should build off on something else. Because at that point, you really are just focusing on the money.
You heard it here first. It's called Marvel out.
Marvel, at this point, James Gunn possibly.
You don't deserve those billions of dollars. You tied our hands and told us to go.
No, they did.
But I know, again, that 100%. I mean, now on these whole entities that are about to come out, yes, you're right. Like they now have, I think, a list where you have to. It gives you I think it was on the Marvels. I saw some news article or some new forum, and it said before you go watch the Marvels, watch these theories, and it was the Marvels, or it was a Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel, and then was it Miss Marvel, and then something else. So to like get the gist of the Captain Marvel or the Marvels.
Oh, you gotta watch WandaVision.
And WandaVision to understand it all. So it gave you a little snippet. At least, again, back in the day when everything was coming out, I was rewatching the whole thing. That was just my thing. I was just like, what is it? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming out. Oh, let me go rewatch all 11 movies one more time.
No, I'm good with that.
I was that guy, dude. Like, Ant-Man 2 is coming out. Let me rewatch everything.
See, the best I would do, like what I appreciated back when Marvel first really started with Iron Man, Captain America, and them, it was every movie led into each other. They were their own standalone movies, but you knew they were all
because it was their own trilogy.
Yeah, it was their own trilogies.
But so there was an overlying plot that got into the third one.
And in all honesty, I'm like, that's what they need to do, because there's a thing where I forget the whole way it worked, but there was like the overlying plot which encompasses all the movies, but each movie has their own plot and arc. So this movie has an arc that it's going to finish, but this arc coincides with another arc. So you have 3 movies to finish one big arch. That big arch leads into an even bigger arch, which leads to the end of
the war. The concept was.
And I was like, and that's how they should really do it, but they're not doing it like that. Now they're like kind of like this one leads into that one, has connections to this one. So I'm like, so nothing's like,
because now we're no longer just a planetary based universe. We're a universe.
Yeah, now it's the universe, and now it's multiverse, and I'm just like, I think you got too big for yourself at this point.
So, if you're comic book savvy, like, Wanda is, again, spoiler alert, Wanda is the one that erases all timelines and makes one, right? In the House of M.
She eliminates
mutants, right?
Yeah. She's like, what was it? What was that famous "No More Mutants" line? And then every mutant that ever existed is wiped out. Well, when I say wiped out, I think they like still live, or they like
she like rewrites,
like she rewrites all of like history and everything. But yeah, the House of M thing was so crazy, and then I think that it reverses back because afterwards she realizes like it can't be like this. But it just, that has to be its own thing. You can't have that with Loki, because at that point
you're tying 2 multiversal type storylines. That's what I mean. Like, you're 100% right. Like, they got too big for their britches right now. Like, there's too many now multiversal people that can like hold the helm. Loki. You got Wanda that can multiversal thing. Doctor Strange multiverse. Deadpool. Now we're gonna be messing with the multiverse. You know what I mean? So we got all these, and what is the real? We already got X-Men: Days of Futures Past like that. Rewrote that timeline. Like wiped away whatever the clusterness of that, like what I mean. Like, I think you're right. I messed up Bree's comprehension of everything.
But you should have watched it in release order, then watched it,
because she's struggling. Like, she's really struggling. But let's see. So what happens next? So then, in the helms of everything, back to animation and how they're doing wonderful. Marvel then went on to do this. It's series 97 where we're at. And so Magneto then is proving his point, that, I'm here. I got this. Like, I'm with you guys. I believe in his, dream, like you said.
But then the UN comes in and
because what happened?
Well, because Magneto's done several crimes against humanity.
They get him right after he saves the people in the thing, right? Okay.
So they come and they're like, all right, you have to answer for your crimes, and I love that line too. They're like, oh well, don't even try to your magnetism on the guns. We already stopped that, and he's like, that's crazy, and then he controls a helicopter to close in on them, and
so he's so cold, bro.
He was just like, like, if I answer for this, will I earn your trust? And they're like, we'll see. You have a, a fair, like he said too, he's like, is it a fair trial or not? And it's just like, that's the way it works. So then he's like, all right. And he puts the helicopters back down and he's just like, so he goes over there, tries to prove his point, and it just like, and then the riot happens outside. So people are trying to rush in because, into the courthouse because people are upset. Like, he's done too much.
The mutant kind or the normal, the people kind are like mad at the fact that he was even getting a trial.
Yeah, because they're like, he's done too much against humanity. Why is he getting a trial? He should just be killed and whatnot. But Magneto is over there. He's like, he has a point, and it's just like, he survived a Holocaust. Now he understands he's a mutant, but now he's looking at be freaked by not just everybody but his own people when he found out he had the power, and he's just like, I was already prosecuted once, and now I'm being prosecuted again, and he's just like, you guys don't want anything but to chain us up and put us into shackles, and just like, I'm not down for that. So he's like, that's why I did what I did. I was trying to fight back, but I'm trying to understand Charles's point of view and trying to do this like coexistence. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, it's difficult for me, but I am trying. And I was like, that's cool.
All in the minutes, and then in the background they had that guy like basically going and stealing that one bullet, right? That
he like did something, yeah. Like he like
made it, right? Yeah. That's what I was tripping out on. I was like, he charged something and then made that bullet, and then he like grabbed it, put it in the gun. So who is that character? I didn't know who that character was. I'm not sure who that it's not Crossbones, because Crossbones has it across here. So I was like, I feel like he was maybe a henchman for, Trask in a way, like, you know what I mean? Just a bought out hired hand in a way.
It could be. I don't remember. I don't know who that person is.
I might have to rewatch that because I don't know if they even gave a name to him.
I think they gave a name. I just can't remember it.
So, again, I think they were coming around to it, right? Like, they were listening to Magneto's, plea, everything was good. Because he had the power dampening collar, right? And then he was in the courthouse on shackles. And then Homie comes in, but I don't remember where Storm was at. Was she in just the crowd? Or was she came in?
No, okay. That was a cool thing, too. Because I love Storm and Magneto together because they could do so much. But Magneto, Storm goes over to the freaking judges, and she's like, unshackle him, like, get the collar off, because we need as much defenses we can get right now, because they're not just trying to kill Magneto, they're also trying to kill you because they consider you guys traitors to humankind. So, and he's like, wait a minute, who are you? And she's like, either you listen to me or we die.
Yeah.
And so they let him go, and he creates like little, like not little, but like giant swords out of the metal that was around. And then Storm brings in the freaking lightning, and it's like making sure nobody can move. And I was like, dude, that is so cool. But this dude walks in from the back, and he's about to shoot Magneto, and then Storm jumps in the way and saves him, and forever loses her powers until next time.
Next episode of Olympics, man. So that is what gets me. So, like, again, in his scopes, jumps. Again, Storm being Storm. Like, she's in for the good of the, again, what I mentioned before the show was, like, she gives me Okoye vibes. Like, you know what I mean? For the greater good of mutant kind.
Yeah.
She knew Magneto is crucial. Yeah. And, like, still risked her life to save his. Like, you know what I mean? So, in the eyes of mutant kind, like, that she's protecting her own. And this is where I saw like another comment of like the show and stuff. Like, they said that it was like the first animated series that like pulled some tears out, like, tearjerker, because like according like what you were saying earlier, she's a goddess. She was like she was given these powers like at birth and was like in tune with nature. Like they called her like some type of like being that like allows you to omnipotent, something like that, where like she has the presence of everything, like knows the nature, knows the wind, feels the wind, and like when she was like, I can't feel the breeze, like you know what I mean, like
the moisture in the air.
Moisture, I was like, Oh shit! Like, what did he hit me with? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she like wondering like what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
And Magneto loses it, bro.
Oh yeah, at that moment,
Like,
you could kind of see that flash of the old Magneto coming back out.
yep.
And in all honesty, like you could tell he really wanted to. And then he just brings the judges with him and the guy that shot her. And but right before he flies off of them, he's just like, "This is what you want. This is what your kind wants us to be like."
Groveling at our feet.
Yeah, groveling at our feet, powerless because you guys fear what we can do. And he's just like, and he took him back. He took him in like the freaking upper limits of the damn atmosphere. And
dude, like cold again. Like, boy was just like, you have no idea. While he's doing it, he's like, we are superior. Like, get that through your head. Like, you know, we will always win, but we are trying again to be good to you.
And we're trying to understand and be like as
accommodating.
Accommodating to you and exist to where we're not overstepping our boundaries with you. He's like, we could do so much good too now, you know? Like, but he's just like
in his face, like you said, like, boy, just taking him up with him, like.
Dude, and then he was like, I like that line too, where he was just like, this world, as big as it is, we make it so small for ourselves. And he's like, this is what I wanted you to see. And he like has them floating above damn Earth, just looking. And he's like, to show you what I could see, like this world is bigger than what we take it to be, you know? And I was just like, damn, that was like, it was a good way to end it.
Dude, again, what's gonna happen? And then what at the very end happens? So, speaking of, so he goes on to say over here, Zaku goes on to say, you know, that a clone was made. So this clone, like we were speaking of earlier, we were seeing double because Jean comes in saying, "Help me!" Like she's asking for help, but doesn't know who they are, right? Like she's like, "I need help," and they're like,
"Oh yeah," she's like, "I need help."
Yeah, you know, I was like, they were like, "Jean, like what, dude, bro?"
And Scott's face is like, "Wait a minute," and you see the other Jean behind him, like, "Oh."
Like, so not per in, you know, reference to Zaku's comment, like, I now curious as to if they're gonna bring in, you know, Mr. Sinister, because there is a clone now. There is a legit clone.
But I think Sinister was in the previous.
Was he in the previous? So then now I gotta definitely for sure see it. So if so the one that's pregnant again is the one that was the clone. Yeah. And,
so the one that was the one that was asking for help, I believe,
is the real Jean Grey.
Was the real Jean Grey that was in outer space after fighting the Phoenix Force.
Guys, I'm so sorry that we didn't watch, you know, the previous series to this before we watched it, but just know there's excitement. So go watch X-Men. You know, again, there's 4 seasons, so you know don't have to watch it all. But I guess to, you know, catch a glimpse of what is needed to know is maybe just the last season. Maybe, you know, season 4. Again, Jubilee does a little quick, you know, tidbit in it where she says, like, when she first came on, she was in the mall, and that's when she got attacked by a Sentinel. When I went back and I started X-Men, I think, like, when I heard about this X-Men 97 coming out, I went and I saw that it was on here, and I played it. Yep, that's the very first episode of the X-Men animated series, is she's in the mall, gets attacked by, you know, these Sentinels, and they come in and, you know, do work, you know what I mean? But, oh, man, dude, so that's... See, for an animated series to get you pumped like that, like I said, Jean Grey gonna come in with a clone, episode 2, and now we gotta wait till Wednesday for it to come out. Like,
I know, dude, it's only one episode a week. I'm
like, but how many are there? Did I didn't look.
It was confirmed.
Let me see. Let's see. We're
gonna do some digging real quick.
Yeah, so we can let y'all know, because again, we've been blasting Marvel hard on these, you know, episode counts. So you know, as long as they give us like maybe 12, 14, I'll be very happy. If they give us this bullshit 8, I'm gonna be a little upset. Episode count. X-Men 97 debuted with a double episode premiere on March 20th with the promises of 10 episodes in its inaugural season, but they already are confirmed for a season 2. All right. I nope, I don't forgive you. I was gonna say I forgive you, but no, I don't, because then I'm pretty sure season 2 won't come out till fall of 2025 or something. Somewhere, maybe. I just feel like that's gonna be what the news is gonna say. Like they're just gonna be like, sorry about you, but 2025 is when part of season 2 is gonna come out. Like, but so okay, so 10 episodes.
I mean,
as long as they don't give us 20 years, 20 years to think
indefinite hiatus. Oh, speaking of which, you know the Super Dragon Ball Super is going on an indefinite hiatus, so they're putting on a hold for we don't know how long. So yeah, Dragon Ball Super.
Little side story.
Yeah.
So I saw that too. I was like, darn it, man! And then again, he left off on probably the hardest cliffhanger it is. I think.
Well, I don't think that Toriyama was writing Super.
He wasn't writing the Super on manga.
No, I think somebody else was doing Super at that point.
Okay, because I just saw that because he's excuse me. He just pinned Beast Gohan against Ultra Instinct Goku.
Oh, really?
And one of the comic strips or manga strip was unable to touch him, able to touch him, and then like Beast Gohan like goes into like second form, I guess. Like he just like does this whole Gohan yell.
Power scream,
and then he was able to like it shows them like zipping Gohan can't catch Goku, and then like one more like he did like a false move, and then it shows him like touching him, and it shows Beerus and what's his name's face, Beerus and Whis.
Yeah.
This shows their face like, and then it shows Vegeta like, oh snap, like he touched Ultra Instinct Goku, like you know what I mean, and like he plows him through that life tree or whatever, like that's on the end of Super, like he blows through him into that tree, and so they were like, and then they had like Beast Gohan like smirking. So and then that was the end of the panel. So I don't know if it showed anything more.
I need to read Super. Though.
I was like, ooh. Suzaku just said, last I heard it was on a pause for a month. No, I think I saw a hiatus too, if I'm not mistaken.
It was an indefinite hiatus at the moment that I read.
Indefinite hiatus. That's what I read as well.
So we'll have to see.
Let's see. Dragon Ball. So that was the end of the episode 2, guys. So overall, the
very good series.
Yeah, very good series. So it is what you are reading on the online. It is showing that it's coming out to be a very good series. Right off where it left off on the X-Men animated series, jumps right in, no gap time. Right now I'm at a 9 out of 10. Animation's freaking badass. The character development where they're at right now is just really good. Where it shows like seamless teamwork, where what you're wanting from these X-Men, and you got zapped from on the live action, you know what I mean? So
for real,
you again, coming from me, seeing Cyclops again, just like slide across this screen with his unibeam, like just going hard. So I was just like, okay, slow down. Like the Cyclops I got on there was on some Oakley phase, you know what I mean? Like some red tinted Oakleys, like didn't know how to do nothing. Like this boy was like sliding across the floor, like
he said, "I'm only just learning how to do this."
Exactly. The little lifting the glasses thing, a little trick, but. So yeah, definitely 9 out of 10 for me. I don't know, where you're at. Like,
I mean, I would have to probably give it a 9 out of 10 myself. I mean, like for me, the point away probably be some of the animation, like we talked about the lip sync.
I was gonna say me was more like I'm mad it is a 1 week a week thing, but again, I've always claimed that it's been great.
Episode.
That really upset me too right now. I was like, man. I was really hoping for at least 16. A solid 16 would have been a straight season, like I think, in my opinion. So now with 10, I know there's gonna be a nasty ass cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
And then again, I know it's gonna be a year and a half time. Latest. That's what I'm saying. If all goes good, no writers guilds come into play, no, strikes.
Yeah.
2 years, tops. But a year and a half, I say like 2025 fall. They're gonna give it to us. I feel why? Because I feel like they're gonna do a good old holiday theme. Throw in a little holiday theme.
Well, if that's the case, then they might do a holiday theme one at the end of this year, and then the next season actually fall in spring, 2025.
Spring or summer or spring?
Yeah, spring.
I'm
gonna say it in the spring.
So, all right, that you heard it here, guys. So spring 2025. I say fall 2025 with a holiday season type thing. But definitely go check it out, guys. X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. Again, go look up the chronological order of X-Men series. The only one that is not on Disney Plus is Days of Future Past, and then that one's on HBO. So take a look at those. From experience right now, as we chronological may not be the best way. If you're not familiar with the whole thing, I don't think it is. Okay, so your judgment is not okay.
Just release order.
Release order for the fans that are not fans, and then for the fans that understand chronological order to make sure you make sense. But go check it out again. They tried to do their thing. I almost gave them credit, but almost did. But they tried to do their thing. Fox, really did miss up.
An attempt was made.
Yeah. Very decapitalized small letters attempt was made, but they did their best. They gave us our first family, and they gave us X-Men. They gave us, they tried. Again, they tried. But yes, X-Men 97, check it out. Next week we'll be going into X-Men 97, the third episode, and if we do have time, we'll go over the Fate series. Don't forget, that's what the anime that we are jumping into on the anime side. Fate series, Fate Stay Night is just the Fate Zero. Fate Zero.
Yeah, Fate Zero.
So Fate Zero. So tune in on that side. That way I can jump into the conversation. But another great episode, guys. We will catch y'all next week. Y'all be safe, and we'll see y'all then.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us.